非常感谢两位长老的莅临，我们这个心得分享参与。
First of all, thank you, Bantes, and let's have a time of reflection and sharing of feelings right now.
因为时间过得很快，我们就10天的这个禅修就已经到尾声了。
Time passed very quickly, and we are already at the end of our retreat.
那我们首先掌声欢迎两位长老的莅临。
An applause for the Bantes.
那我们首先请我们的长老菩提比丘致辞讲几句话。
Some words from.
I think the people should speak first, and I'll speak at the end.
Okay, you guys heard him. Who wants to speak first?
那好的。
Oh, here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom. My Chinese name is Xin Sheng, if you want to call me by my Chinese name. I want to say two things, if I can. The first, this actually came up last night, and this is on the idea of noble silence. So someone last night, regarding the sharing of merit, very loudly proclaimed, why do we have to speak for 2 hours? Or why do we even have to speak for 1 hour? That's a long time. There's not really anything to share. And I feel very sorry if you feel this way, because what this shows to me is it's not that there's nothing to share, is that if you believe that you have nothing to share, it's actually because you've already shared it all. You've already shared it in the hallways, you shared it in the kitchen, you shared it when we were doing work, right? And so instead of being mindful, we were being mouthful. How I would put it. 用中文我说，这样不念佛，这样在念话. We're not remembering the Buddha, we're remembering our mouths. And so I think like this is the reason why noble silence is so important, is because it actually protects us. It helps keep us mindful of our own thoughts, of our ideas, and our feelings. And this way we can actually generate that merit and understand what wisdom is. For the second point, and this is actually something that I'm very happy with understanding finally, is the realization of the difference between the Bodhisattva and the Arahant path. So for starters, I'm going to proclaim, here's my thesis, that there is actually something more powerful and more moving than jhana, than nirvana and enlightenment itself. And I would actually say that that is compassion and love. And this is actually proven in the sutras, if you'll allow me to interpret them. I know we have two very intelligent, very widely renounced, very widely renowned Pali scholars here, so I apologize if my interpretation is not up to par, but this is actually seen in all traditions of Buddhism. You can see this in the Buddha's enlightenment. When the Buddha was enlightened, he thought to himself, oh wow, this is such an amazing idea, this is such a subtle insight. How can I possibly proclaim this to the world? And that's when the gods came down and said, Buddha, 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 well, please, can you actually teach the world? And the Buddha, despite being fully enlightened, despite being completely omniscient, he knew everything. He knew everything there was to know about the entire universe. But he still stopped for a moment and said, all right, let me think about it. And that's when he saw that there were people that were able to receive the Dharma. And so he decided to teach. And I would say that that one moment of hesitation, the one that allowed him to change his mind, was actually all of the compassion, his perfection of compassion, his perfection of love that he had worked on throughout all of his eons as a bodhisattva. And how did he do this? This was altruism. And if you actually read some of the Buddha tales, of what his life was like when he was an unenlightened bodhisattva, you hear stories of him sacrificing limbs or giving up his entire life to like feed hungry animals. And this is true compassion for other things. Oh, okay. She gave me a 3. I don't know if that means 3 seconds or 3 minutes. I'll finish very quickly, I promise. And so I would say that that compassion is what actually brought him to move away from enjoying that nirvana and enjoying that enlightenment and sharing it with the world. And so I would say that the opposite of craving is actually not wisdom, it's actually compassion, love. Everything that we see here, these Buddha statues, the teachings of the Buddha, these are manifestations of wisdom for sure. But how did it reach us? It reached us through his compassion to teach. His compassion to teach and his compassion that spread through his students to teach as well. And so that's why I would say that love and compassion for other people, doing that one altruistic good deed is more important and more powerful than jhana and nirvana can be. And it's accessible to anyone at any time. So I hope this inspires you guys to do at least one good deed for the day. Thank you for your time.
各位学员，我们只是2分钟半哦，不能太长，因为还有很多人哦。Thank you.
You only have 2 minutes and a half to talk.
I wasn't going to speak, but I'm on the spot. My name is Dana. I don't have a Chinese name. It's given to me by Polish parents, and I'm pleased to know it's also a Pali word, D-A-N-A. I wanted to share something personal. This year has been quite different for me as well as for my family. My father has been very ill this year. Last December, we found out that he needed open heart surgery, but then, of course, the Western doctors found cancer. And unlike your wonderful story with the Qigong, I didn't know Qigong, and so we have been using the Western medicine. And I've been living at home with my parents this year, taking my dad to his chemotherapy and radiation. I'm pleased to say his cancer is gone, or so they say. And so I had my doubts about Western medicine, but I'm pleased to say it's working. And now we are looking at the heart surgery. But what I'm getting at is that the practice is so beneficial. This year has been extremely difficult for my family. And for me, it's been this incredible opportunity to really see what the practice of the art of living is. I can't even express the moments where I see where the practice crosses over, and it's kind of like the Bhante said about how the process of meditation is also this organic organism, multi-layered and intertwined, and our lives are like that. And if you don't have a practice where you can observe your attachment, observe your grasping, it becomes very difficult. I see that with my other family members, and I'm grateful for this practice. I actually signed up for the meditation retreat that was prior to this one, and I had to call, unfortunately, and cancel because we had too many doctor appointments. And it's funny how serendipitous my life is. I mean, from the moment I was introduced to meditation and the Eightfold Noble Path has been like mind-blowing. And I got to come on this one, and I Googled the Bhante And I ran downstairs. My father cannot walk up and down the stairs anymore. Hopefully after the surgery he will. And I went downstairs and I said, Papa, this time the Bhante is from Eastern Europe. Like you, like Mom. He go, wow, it's not from Sri Lanka? And so he said to ask you if you eat knigliki. Because my father was a chef, and it's one of his many talents is cooking. So I had to ask because he will ask me if I did. I also wanted to just thank you so much because you made so clear many things that I was very confused about, and I've gone on many retreats. And to use a term my dad really likes to use, he's fond of using simply amazing. And the way you explain things so concisely, and even someone as ignorant as I can grasp it and understand it, it's simply amazing. Thank you.
到兰州那边啊，赶快哈，对，第一位。
First of all, thank you, GC Vasu, and all, Jason and all the organizers and kitchen helpers. I think it was pretty much until the last few days that I only managed to kind of moderate my food, and I think everyone can agree with that. And then secondly, thank you, Bhante, for a wonderful and kind teaching. The last time and the first time I saw Bhante was 10 years ago. So one of the things that I would like to share is that we don't have that many 10 years. And Bhante is a great teacher, so we should really appreciate him and learn from him. I'll speak more about that. I'll talk about the next thing first. It's also an honor to be in a retreat with Bhikkhu Bodhi and all the reverends here. It's really an honor. In fact, I'm sitting right beside Bhikkhu, so, and then I'm facing Bhante whenever he talks. It was kind of funny when we picked the seat. No one actually picked this seat. There were a few people who came before me, so I picked this seat. This retreat, in a way, is a culmination of many years of practice, mainly because I'm a slacker. I don't practice that hard. In a way, it's a continuation of a retreat I sat in when I was in high school, actually. So I get into a very good seat at that time, and then I didn't really get a chance to develop since then, sometimes because I've been to many retreats, but sometimes because of maybe I acted as a helper or translator, or even if nothing really kind of continue from that early practice. So this is kind of a very good reminder of going back to that retreat. And I really like Bhante's teaching. There are just too many things to share. Hopefully one day I'll write a report, but just a few things off the top of my mind. Bhante's saying that the practice is organic, like you mentioned earlier. I think that is a very good reminder to me, and I believe to all of us, that's the way that we can look at practice. And also not to have a rigid mind, like Bhante just saying earlier, in terms of sometimes of the traditional sayings. I'll share one thing that I kind of noticed. So most of the days, I think I woke up either to sit in the hall or sit in my in the sleeping quarter when it was too cold. So one day I came when no one was here. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then when I was sitting here, I heard all the sounds, right? Sometimes it sounds like door opening or something. And then initially I was kind of scared. I mean a tiny bit, but not a whole lot, but I was kind of scared. I know that I'm in a Buddha hall, all the protectors and stuff. But then I quickly reminded myself that, as Bhante later on said, that I just need to stick to my object. If I stick to my object, it doesn't matter who comes. It can be someone sitting beside me, it can be any being, it doesn't really matter. So if I stick to my object, then I'll be fine. I think I'll just end here, and it's a great honor and joy to be sitting with all of you. And I'll just pass on kind of one of the things that I thought, because I think one of the kitchen helper we were talking about, and talking about having a good sit. From my experience, I think having a good sit is not just from sitting a lot. I think it has a lot of the things that we do as a paramis, meaning donation and other related things, and such as reading scriptures. So I would just end with that, and thank you again to Bhante and to Bhikkhu Bodhi and to all of you.
Hi everyone, my name is Junior. This retreat has been incredible for me because about 5.5 months ago, I was involved in a horrible automobile crash. The result was 6 herniated discs on my back. We tried everything that Western medicine had to offer except for a surgery. After I thought that was the only next step, I resisted to that. And then out of the blue, I started researching, and I found a technique in acupuncture called the 5 elements. That gave me my life back in the sense that I was able at least to walk again, because I couldn't even do that. But although it took care of the pain, my body was still very stiff, hard to move. I couldn't even sit, to do meditation, and that was my main worry. But ever since I came here, that I took the exercises that this retreat has offered, I would say that my situation has improved like 90%. I was afraid to move before, to do anything. When I saw Bhante doing like the rocking chair, stuff like that, I said, crazy if I do that. I went in a hospital, but I did it. And I felt better after I finished doing that than before I started doing it. So I have no words to explain to my gratitude because I feel totally fine, completely. As a matter of fact, yesterday morning I went to my car before the exercises in the morning, and I am a marathon runner. I have run many marathons, and that was a thing that I couldn't do wrong. And I said, you know what? From my car to the front of the temple, I just came running. I was so excited. And look, when I get home right now, I'm just going to wear my running shoes and I'm going to run now. And that's how good I feel. Thank you very much.
My name is Maria, and my husband and son are here. They're Buddhist, but I'm Catholic, but I guess it's okay. I am new to meditation, so I couldn't really say very much about it. From time to time, I meditate, but not all the time. But first and foremost, I really would like to thank the monastery, the nuns, and the monks for their hospitality and for taking care of us while we are here, and also for Judy and the kitchen crew for the delicious meals 3 times a day. And I think there's nothing more exciting in the morning than in a cold morning than a nice bowl of congee with all the trimmings. And so I thank them for that. And also thank you, Bhante, for your teachings. The things that you have taught us, or to me, would carry with me for the rest of the many years to come. And I promise I would try to meditate more. Thank you.
So, hi everybody, my name is Matthew. I wasn't sure if I was going to share, but I guess I have the microphone now. So, yeah, just so grateful for all of you and the monastery and all the venerables and Bente and your teaching was confusing to me at first. I had a very limited perspective on meditation and Buddhism, and I'm still confused, but I'm processing and integrating, and I know that it will be very valuable moving forward. So thank you. And to Bhakti Bodhi, your presence was such a gift as well, so thank you for being here, and all of you. I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shaonan Wang. I first learned meditation 5 years ago in Chuang Temple. And then I went to many meditation retreats because I really addicted to it. But in the last 2 years, I was in China, didn't get a chance to went to meditation retreat. I miss it a lot. So in the last 2 years, I kind of practice without instructions. Now I'm really happy I come back and get a chance to learn meditation again. Yeah, I'm so familiar. I feel so familiar with Chuang Temple and happy to come back again. Just one day before I come here on the Friday, I did an ultrasound and found some disease growing in my belly. So I was so anxiety at that time and painful. Well, that's the situation when I came here. But I heard from Bangli, and my teacher told me, if you continue practice and continue do the observation, the disease will disappear. So it kind of be my desire to keep working on it during the retreat. But after a few days, I talked with Bangli, and my anxiety disappeared, and I can work on it better with less detachment. And of course, I feel less pain, and I'm sure it's going to improve. And this time, my medication, the difference is that I feel my concentration is better. At the beginning, when I do the practice, it's so painful, and it's a lot of suffering when I'm doing the observing different sensations. But right now, after many years practice, my concentration getting better, so while doing the observation, it's less pain. And I heard about many stories who did the meditation, who do the vipassana, who observing a long time, and they killed the disease, killed the cancer, killed different disease. But when things really happened to myself, I'm not sure how this practice can work. But I still have the confidence that if I continue working on it, it will get better. I already feel better, but I need to really do the examinations to see whether it really works, really like growing smaller. Maybe my hope to make it a significant effect in 10 days is impossible. But I'm sure if continue doing the practice, it will get better. Especially the teacher teach us the Qigong, the Chinese medicine, and the different things. I know this will help me as well. So what I will do is I will continue to do the practice, and I'm sure I will be fine. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, my name is Jarrett. This is my first retreat that I've been on. I took refuge and became a Buddhist about 6 months ago, and this experience has just been truly incredible. I've learned so much just about myself, my neuroses, my narcissistic tendencies, just how quick I am to react to things. And this space and the teachings of Bhante and just everybody's presence here has been very inspiring for me to continue practicing and sitting, and just the compassion that I've just observed from so many of you every day has just been very touching, and I want to really bring some of that into my own life outside of this retreat. So I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhikkhu Bodhi. Thank you to the nuns. Thank you to the monks. Thank you. This has been an incredible experience, and I hope to come back here again. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Chuang. Xiaonan's sharing inspired me to say something as well. Through Xiaonan, I actually, in one of my first meditation retreat, I met Xiaonan. And even though we don't really keep in touch very frequently, but every time I met her at a retreat, it's so good to see her again. And she always shared some, even though I don't think she thinks what she's sharing is very important, but it's actually very valuable to me. So from this point, I want to share by extension of that is the community. The community that we are all here is really, really valuable. The best kind of people I meet is always from the retreats. And in this one, I meet, sometimes broke the silence while working in the kitchen, talking to George, Matt, and Eric, and Sue, and other ladies in the kitchen. And it was really, really encouraging and inspiring. And also the presence of everyone here through silence also is very inspiring to me. So this is one of my main takeaways from every retreat I went to is the community is making me understand why the Triple Jan has Sangha. In the beginning, I didn't understand why Sangha is part of the Triple Jan. And now I understood much deeper beyond the ordained monastery Sangha community. The Sangha, the lay people community like us, is tremendously valuable and encouraging on our paths. Because when we step out of this place, we get diluted in the ocean of people who are doing the very opposite things that we're taught here. So just remember, there are people like every one of us walking on this path. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Olivia. A big takeaway that I have that sort of was sparked when Bhante was talking about the books in India being thrown into the Ganges. And I've spent time at the Ganges and just imagining all of this wisdom being drowned and how it's terrible. And it illuminates how beautiful it is that this wisdom is still being shared and taught and learned so deeply. It's truly a remarkable thing. I'm a very white, very American person who comes from an orphaned culture. So to be immersed in a culture that is still so grounded in the wisdom of these ancient times is very inspiring. So and we're keeping it alive. We're keeping it alive in our minds and our hearts and our practices and our daily practices. So thank you all for the work you're doing here, and thank you, Bhante, for inspiring and continuing to teach. It's very important. Thank you.
大家好，我叫杜美惠。My name is 美惠，杜美惠。自己号称美丽又有智慧。这一次那个真的，其实每一次禅修都有学到东西，所以感谢以前的禅师，感谢佛陀，感谢所有人。感谢星空法师的那个善巧，因为我曾经以为我自己没有办法修那个阿那班那呼吸，然后因为我做的除了针灸以外，我还做一个叫做 cranial sacral therapy， 然后它是可以感觉到身体的律动。那以前我以为那是不对的，然后没有办法让我修定的，然后他让我知道说这也是可以的，所以非常感谢。然后另外听到很多人都说有身体上的不舒服，所以我想要分享一下，就是说你身体不舒服，不管是什么病痛，都是气滞血瘀。Okay, what I'm saying now is that for any body pain or anything, what you call it is disease. Okay, if you are really ill, then it's your heart has problem. In Chinese, we call it 疾病. 疾 means from the outer external factors. 病, the character is it's a fire. Fire is our heart. So if you are really sick, really ill, it's your heart has problem. I don't know. 那个中文不晓得大家也可不可以？就是说我们有疾跟病。疾是外面的，然后病是心里的。Okay. And then so whatever problem actually is stagnation. So qi stagnation will cause the blockage of blood. Then to resolve the problem, what you need to do actually is just move the qi, move the blood stagnation. So don't worry about what the Western medicine tell you, what the because mainly their terms are just for symptoms. Like often you heard even like diabetics. Don't let that label scare you. Just try to move your qi and your blood. And how to know that you have qi or blood stagnation? Whenever you have a pain, wherever there's a pain, there's a stagnation. Wherever there's a stagnation, there's a pain. So when you feel something's not quite right, then try to figure out what makes the stagnation happen, and then try to resolve it. So really we are our doctor. That's what I can say. We are our doctor, and what we need to learn is from, we need to learn from the universe, from the nature. If you can follow the nature, then you will be fine. So thank you very much. I hope this can help. Thank you.
Yes, my name is George. I'm one of the Northerners from Canada, Quebec. I found this place thanks to you, Bhikkhu Bodhi. I had bought your translations, the Nikayas, and I Googled you and I found out that you were here. So it brought me here about 5 years ago. That was about a year before my wife passed away, and so basically I've been coming back somewhat irregularly, but I've enjoyed being here every single time that I've been here. So I'm very grateful for the community, for the, well, the monks, the nuns, the young people, the elders, everybody basically who are here to help us continue on our path. Bhante Dhammadipa, you have provided me insights sufficiently deep enough to allow me to integrate the practices from both a spiritual, mental, and physical point of view. It's been very inspiring, very illuminating, because the body has returned to where I think I need to take it. And it's certainly going to be allowing me to probably realign, because I think I agree with you about all the posture aspects that we need to improve. And beyond all of that, Vipassana Samatha, the combining of the two, the intermerging, it's a process, but I think it's one that I want to pursue. And the jhanas, well, obviously, I just love exploring there, and I think I now know the direction that I wish to take. So again, we're a sangha, we're a community, we have so many good people here. I think it's a privilege, and I can only say much metta to all of us.
Hi, my name is Steve Ru. First of all, thank all the venerables of Chuang Monastery, and particularly thank Bhante Dhammadipa and Bhante BQ. And also thank everyone here, because without you, we may not get the status as we have today than if we are doing it all by ourselves alone. And this is quite true, because I've been practicing meditation alone for years. But these past 10 days, I learned and I gained a lot more than a whole year of effort by myself only. And this is really very helpful. I've been overcome the thinking mind. I tried many years to overcome it, and I think I mostly overcome that. If there's any thinking mind, I was very aware of that, and all of a sudden I can bring it back. But I haven't been able to overcome the excitement, always excitement, and that was probably because I read too much, Buddhist book and everything, and my mind was kind of too complicated, something like that. So here, I learned one thing very helpful is that I finally realized that I use too much forced attention, try to overcome my excitement, and it gets things worse. So I try to release everything, and all of a sudden it comes down. But there's another problem came out, which was that, once it came down, I feel like it's either my body was trying to shake, or if I try to control my body, my excitement comes up again. So they come up with another mind and just say, oh, maybe I have wrong breathing. I remember that Bhante told us that there are 4 types of breathing from Tentai, wind and Chuan and Qi and Xi, right? So I try to adjust and reduce the inhale breathing and make my head, body has less air, and all of a sudden, the shaking is gone, and excitement didn't come up. So there was a big, breakthrough individually for myself, and I have a very wonderful feeling in the past couple of days, particularly since Thursday and Friday. It's very wonderful experience, and I wish that I would have more chance to learn from Bhante again, and I thank everyone here. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Quat Nguyen. Just in case you pronounce it, I originally come from Vietnam. I look Asian, but I don't speak Chinese. I have been a Buddhist for a long time. I feel that there's some disadvantage in that. Growing up, I I'm exposed to Buddhism. I thought I know Buddhism, and because of that, you don't really know that you don't know. And part of this is, and part of another thing is life leads you to different directions. So I feel that I have it suspended for maybe 30 years. So I'm happy to be, very happy to be able to attend the retreat. This is the second time at the temple, but the first time with Bhante. So many inspiring stories, so many inspiring stories, so many teaching that we learn from here. And I really appreciated the fact that for the past 10 days, the thing I learned is like this. I realized what I have known, what I thought I know about Buddhism was just so superficial. But that is, it blocked you from learning. You thought you know, it's blocked you from learning. And I really appreciated Bhante has provided us with the clear roadmap, and I feel that with that roadmap we can go on. And I'm at this stage in my life. I'm going to go to another stage, and I do know that with the teaching, with the help with Bhante, and with the community here, I feel that I will make the progress. And I hope that with the good karma, one day we will have a chance to study with Bhante again. And thank you everyone too. Thank you everyone.
I guess that means it's me now. Thank you so much, Bhante, and Bhikkhu Bodhi, and everyone who made this retreat possible, from the kitchen staff to Jason, everyone in the office, all of the monastics, all of you here. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your presence with us. It's been a magical and powerful time, I think, for everyone. In some of my discussions with the retreat participants here, I found that I've been coming for 10 years, and it even surprised me when Olivia said, "Oh, so you've been coming for 10 years," and I didn't even realize that the first time I came here, I remember feeling so uncomfortable, just so incredibly uncomfortable, being silent around other people, taking a shower downstairs and falling asleep in the dorm. I remember feeling, what the heck are you doing? As a young person, to have come back as many times as I have to this community, watching the pile of these name tags grow in my drawer, and the emails that I had to look up in my inbox that said, you're accepted to this retreat, you're accepted to this retreat, you're accepted to this retreat, having come, brought my friends, brought my dad, brought my brother. This community means way more to me than I even understood, and it's an absolute blessing and a privilege and an honor, and I'm so, so grateful to have been able to come here for this particular retreat, which just happened to be along my route on my way home, as I've been doing some charity work, building greenhouses out in Pennsylvania. And on my way back, it just happened to be that this retreat was going to be taking place in the week that I had free before I was going back to work. And I remember calling my father before I came here and just telling him I'm so, so grateful that I get to come to this retreat. And I just want to share that gratitude with everybody. There's so much more I'd love to say, but I'll probably start crying again. And I love you all, and thank you very much for your presence. One thing that really, really, really helped me during this retreat, and I hope that it helps the rest of you, is to start just talking to myself like I'm a child on the inside. And I remember opening my eyes and looking around at all of these beautiful beings around me, and I said, wow, how did I end up in this place? Surrounded by all these beautiful people. the amazing act of nonviolence and compassion towards yourselves is inspiring to me, and to have sat here in silence and observed this amazing act of compassion and peace, and to have closed my eyes and thought to myself, you are so blessed. You have clothes on your body, you are fed, you're under a roof, and all of this is being provided for you by the community so that you can have the time to close your eyes and go inside. And you are surrounded by people who are doing the same thing and taking the time out of their lives to come here and join in community to promote this peace. Honestly, it's just awe-inspiring. And I remembered in that moment that I should just relax and that everything is more than okay. It's more than okay. It's amazing, and it's been an absolute honor, and I'm so thankful to have been a part of this community, and I continue and hope to be an influential part of this community going in the future. So thank you very much, everyone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Len, and I just want to say it's really hard to speak in public. It needs a lot of courage. So I stay almost the last to talk about what I get from this retreat. Okay, I would like to talk about it from 2 points. From every morning, we have Qigong. I think it's especially when it is still in darkness, and I saw the white big Buddha statue reflection on the window and showing in the darkness. It's very spiritual, and combined with the Qigong teaching practices, it's such an enjoyment every morning for me. As far as Monte's teaching, his Dharma talk, his interview, before I came to this monastery, I came here with a lot of questions, confusions, because I went to different teachings, and it caused me a lot of confusion. Northern teachings, southern teachings, and sometimes there is conflict there because I started learning Buddhism not long ago. So, maybe I'm still very shallow, and I need a lot of practices. But from Monte's Dharma talk, I'm more like, everything put together, and I got a basic idea. And especially during interviews, I really appreciate Monte's advice and showing me a correct direction in the future when I practice what I should focus on. Right now at the beginning, a lot of emotion, and I'm more like, being carried away by those emotions. But I remember Monte's instructions, focus on your breath, be mindful. And I think, so far, pretty much I'm doing a good job. I didn't being, I was not being carried about those frightened or what do you say, refinement, or anyway. So especially Monte's encouragement. Thank you very much, Monte. Thank you. And the last but not the least, I appreciate Puti Bichu, your presence hear every meditation sessions, every Dhamma talks. Even I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but it's very inspirational. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone being here. You create an incredible environment for meditation. Thank you very much. Thanks.